And I would like to take the opportunity to, for 2-3 minutes, just making sure that everybody would be able to turn on their cameras. And it's amazing to see all the faces of people who are active in the field from different parts of the world. And that is amazing to have the large community of friends that we are working together. And that's kind of the great opportunity. Now I can see many faces I can see Carol Weiss from AAAP, Dave Martel from CSAM, Steve Taylor from ISAM, Tom from NIDA, people, Goodman from South Africa, Paolo from Italy, Marco. And so all those people around the world. You can see Scott Mackey from University of Vermont, Solly from South Africa. And that is the amazing community that we have, people from around the world who are a part of this community working together. And that is a kind of the great advantage that we have, to have people from 90 different countries on board with us in the community in ISAM Regional Council. And that is a great advantage that we have. And I would like to kind of ask people to use the chat space to introduce themselves, and also kind of post questions that they have. We'll definitely be happy to be back to the questions that you are providing in the chat space. So it's going to be an interactive process. Hopefully you will be engaged in the processes and be a part of the decision-making process. Hopefully that is the motivation that we have right now, to just be back together and discuss about the potential that we have together. So let me just be back to the slides that we have. And then the next part, we are going to ask... Please, Alex, please.
Just one note: if people have come later on, then you know, the allocated time, or people want to catch up with the information, because I'm aware that, you know, there's so much information going on, so much good information. They're available on the ISAM website, and also if people are interested in registering for the regional and the global conferences, again, there's opportunities through the ISAM website. Sorry, Hamid.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alex, for that. Definitely, the ISAM website is a really great resource. So hopefully my colleagues will post the ISAM website here as well in the chat space, making sure we will have access to the ISAM website. And this is the way that we are trying to kind of make everything the transparent processes and kind of some like a collaborative governance. So in this piece, we are going to ask our regional representatives to give really brief talks, just 1 to 3 minutes, discussing about their own regions and kind of giving them opportunity to introduce themselves. And that would be kind of a potential for those who are from different countries to know your own regional representatives and be able to be in touch with your regional representatives for further communications and collaborations. And regional representatives are going to have some kind of separate meetings with people from different parts of the world to see how they can collaborate together in the future. So the first one is going to be Dario from South America. Dario, do you want to get us started? And this is the list of countries that Dario is basically leading, and hopefully we will have national ambassadors from all those countries involved in the process. Dario, are you with us right now?
Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Hello to everyone. And please, we can go directly to the action plan, because we are working with ISAP, with the International Society of Substance Abuse Professionals, and the regional meeting in Buenos Aires, Argentina, with participants of various countries of the region gathered to discuss and share the experiences, and I hope we can reach more representatives or more ambassadors for our mission in ISAM there. And we will there with other ISAM representative of South America. Another upcoming event is the Addiction Prevention Assistance International Congress in Cordoba, again, which will take place in August this year. This Congress hosted last year the regional meeting of ISAM with great success, and I hope we can participate with the Brazil meeting this year. I confirm my participation there as a representative of South America, of course, and with the same objective. And as you know, we are actively working on adding affiliate societies of Chile, Uruguay, and Peru to further expand its reach and impact of the region, and also to identify ambassadors from Colombia and Ecuador, doctors from Argentina here, Juan, Romina, Mariana, welcome, thank you for your participation, and Peru, Alicia, Colombia, Rodrigo is our proposal ambassador in this national representative, and Ecuador, Sergio, are present here. Thank you for your support, and finally, many thanks to ISAM and to all colleagues around the world for their support during these almost 25 years of this incredible network. Thank you very much, Hamed, for this wonderful meeting here.
Thank you very much, Dario. Thank you very much. Rabia from Turkey, representative of East European part. Rabia. And Rabia is basically including those countries in the ISAM community. Rabia.
Hi everyone. I'm a psychiatrist working in Istanbul. I'm the representative of East Europe region, and there are almost 13 countries in the region. You can see on the slide. Next slide, please. These are the countries in the East Europe region. And as a very new regional representative, I decided to start with the nearest ring, because I knew that most of my colleagues weren't aware of ISAM works. So we had our annual national address of Congress in December. So I had a presentation introducing ISAM. There were almost 400 colleagues there, and they were very interested with ISAM. Next, please. And then we are almost completed the affiliation of our Addiction Psychiatry Association with ISAM. And in our General Assembly, we elected the next term chair of our national society, and I was elected as a chair, so it will maybe make easy to collaborate with ISAM more. And in that General Assembly, we decided to apply for organizing a regional ISAM meeting in Istanbul, and maybe to meet all the colleagues there. So we formed a small group to work for these ISAM works. Next slide, please. And we were preparing a short survey, and we planned to reach at least one colleague for each country in the region, and use our email groups, WhatsApp groups. We are the member of the ICU DDR. We are organizing the ISAP national chapter, and also we have global DDR trainer groups. So, and we are planning to expand with snowball method. And we are hoping to meet at the regional ISAM meeting in Istanbul if it will be accepted. And when we are working on it, as you know, in February, we had the biggest earthquake of the century in our country. I had taken these photos. It was really very bad. And next slide, please. And I strongly believe that we will heal with support of all our colleagues from all over the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rabia, and yeah, we are with you in terms of the kind of having our heart with you in terms of the challenges that you face in Turkey and Syria. The earthquake, yeah, and hopefully that is going to be something that we can work together to see how we might be able to support, as we did together during the pandemic. And we learned a lot during the pandemic how we can collaborate and push things forward together. The next speaker, Sophia, from representative of West East Europe. Sophia, are you with us? So I cannot hear Sophia right now. So hopefully Sophia will be able to join us. But these are the countries that Sophia is representing, and she's really active on that part of the world. Hopefully we'll be able to have more and better representations from countries in West and South Europe. And these are the slides that if Sophia came back, we can just give the time for her presentation. Things are happening in that part of the world, which are lots of excitement in terms of having different societies involved. And then we will, Jonna from North Europe. Jonna was not able to make it, but these are the list of the countries in North Europe that we have. We already have colleagues from Finland, from the Finnish Society of Addiction Medicine, who are working with Jonna, and I mean other colleagues. Right now, we already have Val and Darius and Jürgen from different parts of the world who are already attending the meeting here, and that's amazing to see how those people are collaborating to develop society on that side. Then we have Sally and Goodman from South Africa. Sally, are you with us?
Yes, I've just unmuted. My name is Sally Rataemane, representing Southeast and Southern Africa. I don't have slides, but just briefly to indicate that we are doing our best to find the best ways of collaborating with countries in the region. In South Africa, issues relating to substance abuse are organized under the Central Drug Authority, which is hosted by the Department of Social Development. And this is an overarching body that also gives us a template on what we should do. However, there are other important bodies, for instance, that have been pioneering work in addictions. SANCA, which is a South African National Council on Alcohol and Addictions, has annual or biannual addictions conferences that put together a lot of experts from different parts of the world, including South Africa. SANCA assists in collation and compilation of data that we share with UNODC. And I mention UNODC because most of the data collection through the National Department of Health and the Central Drug Authority normally goes to UNODC and WHO. And we get an annual report from them in terms of how we're doing. I also want to indicate that we also work with the various ISUP structures in Africa, Kenya, Uganda, and we reach out also to West Africa, even though that's not part of our region. There is also a very important Addictions Medicine Association called SAMS, South African Addictions Medicine Society, which is led primarily by psychiatrists, but it's all inclusive. You have social workers, psychologists, and others who are in the field of substance abuse who are members thereof. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are a number of these collectives. And if you can just give a few minutes to Goodman, he can also talk to you about the technology transfer structure that he's leading in South Africa, which is also collecting data and is helping us with the way forward in terms of planning. Here is a bit of a problem for us. At this stage, we have tried to introduce ISAM to the National Department of Health, Social Development, and we are asked the question, how relevant would ISAM be to South Africa? We have indicated various things that you have shared with us, Hamed, but we don't yet have a South African chapter of ISAM. That has not yet been registered. We hope that in collaboration with Goodman, that can be done in the near future, but we have to justify this because of the existence of 5 other important bodies that link ultimately to WHO and also to UNODC. Thank you very much. Over to you, Goodman.
Goodman.
Good morning, everyone. Soli always manages to find a way to make me say something when I have no plans on speaking. So, so he's very bad in that way. So I'm director of the International Technology Transfer Center South Africa, which is funded by United States Department of State, INL. It is a program of ICDDR and works quite closely with ISAP Global as well as ISAP South Africa. So we collaborate actively with those partners on the continent and in the region for capacity building and technical assistance work as well. And there are some sort of data collection and surveillance projects which we're just getting started, and hopefully by the time I see you all in Morocco, or some of you, and hopefully by then we'll have some stuff to share with you. At the moment, it's still all quite formative. one of the things we have in South Africa is we have a very reliable treatment demand data collection system. What we don't have is a risk data is a risk monitoring system that allows us to then create responsive packages of care for substance use disorders. And so that's what we're working on at the moment. And hopefully later on this year, we'll be able to talk more about that. And so we do this through this partnership with Department of State, INL, UNODC, WHO, ICDR, ISAM, and African Union. So that's a sort of very early, and hopefully we'll talk some more later, down the road. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Goodman. Thank you very much. It's just impressive, and we are hopeful to have more engagement from African countries in the community. The next speaker is going to be Afarin from as the Central Asian representative from Tehran. Afarin.
Good morning and good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Perfectly well, yes.
Yeah, great. I'm Afarin Rahimi-Movaghar. I'm a psychiatrist at Tehran University of Medical Sciences, and I'm directing Iranian National Center for Addiction Studies, which is a WHO collaborating center on research and training on mental health and substance use. Actually, I have more than 25 years of experience in policymaking and research on mental health and substance use. Me and my colleagues have done 5 rounds of systematic reviews on drug use, injecting drug use and services in the East Mediterranean and North African region, actually defined by WHO regions, which includes 22 countries. The first review was done in 2002, and the last one was in 2022. So we are updated on the situation, recent studies, and stakeholders in the field, and also on the methodologies of such reviews. However, only 3 of the 22 countries are those that I'm representing in ISAM. The region that I'm going to represent consists of 3 countries in South Asia and 8 countries in Central Asia. I know South Asia very well and have good familiarity with the sub-region. I also have some familiarity with Central Asia, and I prefer to have a deputy representative from Central Asia. We have already negotiated this with Hamed and colleagues. The reason is that the main language in the sub-region is Russian, and I don't have any knowledge of Russian. So perhaps a deputy representative would help us in our tasks. As far as I know, except Iran, few people from the region are members of ISAM. And next slide, please. As the first step for my work, I will try to form a network of addiction experts in the region by identifying experts, making contacts, and encouraging them to join the network. And we'll use social networking platforms to facilitate interactive discussions. And then we'll discuss our priorities in the region in the fields of data collection, research, training, guideline development, and perhaps other priorities. Subsequently, we will select 2 or 3 priorities to start with, and we'll see how everything goes on. Hopefully, the group will be able to contribute to the other activities of ISAM as well in near future.
Thank you very much, Afarin. And Afarin has recently joined us, so we are really hopeful that with the regional expertise that the Afarin has, we will be able to have better representation from that part of the world and kind of having more involvement with Middle Eastern countries. And now we have Wei Hao. I'm not sure Wei is with us today. But Wei, are you with us? I cannot hear anything from Wei. But Wei, and we had a meeting with Wei 2 days ago and with Afarin and others discussing about how we can have representations from China, Japan, Korea, those countries that are involved in Eastern Asian side. So we are hopeful to have kind of discussions and collaborations on that part of the world as well. And we also have Atul Ambekar. Atul had a flight. I'm not sure if he was able to make it to the meeting. Oh. Atul is representing South Asian and East Asian parts countries like Bangladesh, kind of Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, those countries on the map, and hopefully we'll have lots of kind of activities and collaborations on that part of the world. So these are the slides that he provided in terms of how he's working with colleagues to get those countries involved, and the collaborations that he's making on that part of the world, and some other slides from that. And it was something like 1 a.m. in the morning for Shalini, and she had a small child, so she was not able to make it, but we are recording the session for Shalini from Australia, who is representing Oceania and kind of mainly Australia and New Zealand, and in that part of the world. And these are the list of some are really small countries on that part of the world, but I mean, the list is still a kind of a long list of different countries on that continent.